Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, Biafrans. Anywhere you are, I'm greeting you because this video is getting to you as I am dropping it. Now, it's obvious that they are now telling Nnamdi Kanu that even Britain cannot save him from their hand. I mean, Nigerian government, coupled with the Igbo leaders and governors who are doing hanky-panky game with the life of our leader. They are seeing obviously that it is not working out for them. Nigeria has failed everyone. Yet, they cannot bury their shame to say the truth and say divide Nigeria to save lives. Because actually people are facing despondency, like no hope. People are dying. People are sick because they are malnourished. People are no longer eating to their field. They are not even eating valuable food because food is just a basic thing that everyone can have. Are we talking about the abortion of justice? The justice of every side has been aborted. There's no longer justice in Nigeria. So it's biting real hard. Yet, because of what they have signed, because of so much engagement in their cults and all this, their campaign, something, they are not saying the right thing. They are no longer saying the truth. And they are pretending to be your brothers. These are enemies in the house. I tell you the truth. I will allow you to listen to this. And I will be right back.
Biafrans, I want to tell you something. Can you hear my voice? If my voice is coming out clear, please let me know in the comment section. I want to tell you something, Biafrans, something that has been happening for so long. You see, given the name of the title, or should I say, sorry, the title of this very live presentation, which I have written, Igbo Governors / DOS pushing for Nnamdi Kanu to denounce Prime Minister Simon Ekpa publicly for him to be released. For Nnamdi Kanu to regain freedom, he must denounce the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. Now, this is the current strategy of the Southeast governors, the illegitimate Igbo governors, and of course their errand boys, DOS. Now I want to tell you something. If you remember the word I said from the beginning, I told you that they have reduced, they have minimized, and they have, use. Let me just use that simple one. They have reduced their demands to one. You see, every time they will come, they go to Lion House, Enugu, they will come out in the public and tell us, we are going to Asorok to interface with Mr. President to secure Nnamdi Kanu's release. That has always been their, their chorus. Now, let me tell you something. This particular thing that is going on, has been going on for some months. Please let me know because something I click something now. Let me know if my voice is coming out clear this moment now, because there is something I clicked might stop my voice from coming out. Please let me know. Can you hear me? Biafrans, can you hear me, please? Oh my God. Okay, fine. Thank you. We have to continue. Now, you see, from the beginning of Nnamdi Kanu's kidnap from Kenya, pay attention and remember one word. I want you to remember one word. Write it down, please. that they have reduced their demand to one. To one. Remember that. I will come back to that later. That they have reduced their demands to one. Now, let me start from beginning. I know they are listening. They are paying attention to this broadcast. Let me tell you how it all began. After the kidnap and rendition of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to the Zoological Republic on the 27th of June 2021, they met with Nnamdi Kanu and told him, listen, we know that the manner which we brought you to the zoo is illegal. They told him, they confronted Nnamdi Kanu in the dungeon and told him, look, we know that the manner in which you were brought back to the zoo is illegal. We know. But let me tell you, we have held you, we have held you. We have grabbed you, we have grabbed you. We have put you here in the custody, we have put you here. There is nothing you can do, and nobody is coming here to rescue you, not even Britain. I want you to pay attention. I've not said this thing before. They told Nnamdi Kanu, not even Britain. What I'm saying now, Ifeanyi Ejiofor is aware of it. Aloy Ejimakor is aware of it. All the lawyers are aware of it. All of them. They told Nnamdi Kanu, Anye ejidegogi bụ na anye ejidegogi. Anyị mana the way we brought you back is illegal, but anye ejidegogi. You not go under our custody. You not go under our custody. There is nothing you can do about it. Nobody is coming to save you. The only way out is for you to denounce Biafra. Denounce Biafra publicly. Disarm Eastern Security Network. Back then, listen. And we will release you. Turn IPO, that is the third one. Turn IPOB into a political party so that we will use it to muscle power from out of the north. Listen, back then it was Kedafaya, Muhammadu Buhari. Denounce Biafra agitation. That is the first demand. Their demand was 3, which was coiled or which was, circled into political solution. Listen. First one is denounce Biafra agitation publicly, disband Eastern Security Network, disarm them, disband them, which is in one circle, and then turn IPOB into a political party. Because our target, because you have the masses, you have the crowd, you have the followership, now let us use it for our own benefit to muscle power out of the north and win a 2023 presidential election. Nnamdi Kanu refused. I'm just refreshing your memory. That is not where we are heading. Why I'm touching to this matter, of course, you all following, especially those of you who have been here for long, those of you who have been following us for long will understand what I'm saying. So I'm refreshing your memory, not the main thing I want to say. Now, after Nnamdi Kanu rejected their offer, in 2021, they came back. Now, this very strategy that they came with initially from beginning was a strategy being planned by 3 parties. Pay attention. Now I'm heading to the main topic. The release of Nnamdi Kanu is the strongest thing. I said the strongest thing that has never happened in the zoo before. The release of Nnamdi Kanu. In fact, Nnamdi Kanu is holding Nigeria by the courtroom, because there are four strong interests. Four strong interests. I must say this today. It is the strongest thing that has never happened in Nigeria before. Both keeping Nnamdi Kanu in the custody and releasing him is the hardest thing that has never happened before in Nigeria. I will tell you the reason. There are four very heavy, strong, and gigantic interests, if there's anything like that, concerning Nnamdi Kanu's case. You see, out of the four interests, there are two which are clashing. They are together. Two interests are together at this moment. But in the beginning, out of the four interests, three interests are in one position, while one interest is different from the three. Now, listen, let me analyze it for you. These three interests, these three parties that have one interest, one goal, are British government, Nigerian government, and Southeast politicians. Listen, Southeast politicians, both the governors and ordinary politicians, they have one interest. Nigerian government and British government have one interest altogether, which is political solution. Inside the political solution, there are three conditions, which is, I've already mentioned: disbanding of ESN, denouncing Biafra, and the turning IPOB into a political party. That was their, main political solution, which these three heavyweights have been championing. British government, Nigerian government, Southeast politicians, which you can call Southeast government, be it the governors, the senators, House of Reps, everybody, Southeast government. So there are three governments championing one interest. And the fourth interest is Nnamdi Kanu's interest, which is the freedom of Biafra. And to Nnamdi Kanu, it supersedes every other interest and condition that they placed on his table. Are you paying attention? Now, remember the word. We have grabbed you. We say we don't grab you, and there is nothing you can do. Nobody's coming to save you. Now, DOS is nowhere to be found. They are not in the picture because they have backed down. If also they found government and didn't have the kind of family, it's none of their business. Apota na Radio Biafra, bamba napukwa. Or they work again, like after 6 months, after again, China Sanguru, onya one kita, or puta bamba, boja, naba. After 6 months, or maputako again. That is the strategy. Now, these three powerhouses had one interest, had one interest, which is political solution, which has three things inside the political solution. Nnamdi Kanu's interest is Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu does not have any interest in their political solution. So, these three powerhouses have been championing this interest, using all the people involved, all the strategies, both Ohanes and Dioshi, old and the retired politicians, and they have been using all means to champion this interest, to present it to Nnamdi Kanu, to convince him to accept their offer in order for him to be released or rot in jail. Nnamdi Kanu stood firm on his conviction that is only Biafra will settle the matter. Now, and they were very, very mean and serious, standing firm on their offer to Nnamdi Kanu. Now, do you know what happened? We came into the picture. I want you now to pay attention. Remember what I'm talking about today, which says Igbo governors and DOS pushing for Nnamdi Kanu to denounce Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa publicly for him to be released. That is that is today's topic, and that is the current situation now. This intel, nobody, and I'm not sure if any other person knows about it, because I got the intel from a right source, the same way I got the intel of when the when the Igbo politicians, especially the governors, went to Abuja and told Buhari to give them soldiers to crush ESN on January 20th, 2020. January 20th, 2020. I made that very broadcast. Give us soldiers. Give us soldiers and arms to crush ESN. January 20th, 2020. It's the same way I got the intel about political solution. Three offers inside political solution in 2021. It's the same way I have gotten this intel today. And in no distant time, you will start seeing it happening. Even Nagwagi today, Buri and Uche, in no distant time, you start seeing what I want to say now, you start seeing it happening. Now, let me tell you, the moment we, through Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister, came on board, came on picture. Remember, when this whole shenanigan was going on, we were not in the picture. We were following Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, agitating with him, but we were not, Mazi Simon Ekpa was never been taken that serious. Though people who knows him and people who ndị na-aga na dibia na-ajụ ese must have known that onye ya bụ nsogbu, but they have never taken him that serious as at that time. You know, they only fear his intelligence. Now, when we came on board after the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we now made life so difficult, extremely difficult for the saboteurs, especially those who are here in Biafra land, the Igbo politicians, which I call the Southeast government. Do you know what happened? Initially, they were thinking it's a joke, until they realized that this is nowhere near joke. This is not a joking matter. We made them uncomfortable. They began to run around looking for solution, looking for help here and there. Now, what we did with our activities was to push the interests of the Southeast government. When I say Southeast government, I hope you understand the people I'm talking about. Now, is to remove them from their initial interest, which they share with the federal government and British government together, which is political solution that has three things inside: denounce Biafra, disband ESN, and turn IPOB to political party. Now, listen, this political solution, which inside you have British there, you have the federal government there, which their own interest is to drop Biafra. They don't care whether you turn IPOB into political party. Their own main point there is drop Biafra agitation, and anything about armed struggle must be crushed, must be brought to zero. That is the main interest of British government and the federal government of the zoo. Now, listen, we have pushed the Southeast government to change from that initial interest that they share together with the federal government and the British government. We push them from that interest. They have now dropped. I want you to remember where I'm going. I'm telling you about the release of Nnamdi Kanu and the current, what do you call it? Strategy, which the Southeast government has now reduced to one. Pay attention. Once I get into information, I'll tell you. Now, do you know what is going on? Because of the activities of Mazi Samanepa, the Prime Minister, the Biafra Liberation Army, and all of us collectively, we forced the Southeast government to move away from the interests they all share together with the British and federal government to now begin to talk about the release of Nnamdi Kanu because of what is happening in Biafra land. What is happening in Biafra land? The number one is sit at home. Number two, they want to regain not just the trust, but the control of Southeast. I want to use their own language, Southeast. So it is a big shame to the Southeast government that they are not in control of the Southeast, the place they claim to govern. Pay attention, I'm going somewhere. It is a very big shame, one of the shameful things ever, that you claim to be a government, but you are not in control of the area that you claim to govern. The whole world is aware that normally, on a normal basis, these fools are not supposed to still remain as the governors or political leaders within that very area wherever they claim they are governing. The whole world is aware that as long as Biafra land is concerned, these fools are not governors. These fools are not senators representing anywhere in our land. That these fools are not members of House of Representatives representing anything, anybody, or anywhere in Abuja on behalf of our land. So, and is a great pressure coming from their first master, which is Abuja, and their second master, which is Britain. Are you following? So they can't hold it because of that, and they know that the keeping of Nnamdi Kanu in the DSS dungeon is contributing to what is going on today, at least for the Monday sit at home, which they called us non-state actors. And by law, their own law, by their own law of mind, not the constitution, by their law of mind, a non-state actor has no right to order a public shutdown of a territory where there is governor. That is their own mindset, their law of mind, their own mindset. So it is a great displeasure, a great disgrace to them. And now the pressure is too much because both their first master and their second master are aware that they have lost it all. So because of that, they deviated from the main interests of they deviated from their collective interests from beginning. And now they started pushing for the compromised release of Nnamdi Kanu. I know where I use the word compromised release because the release wouldn't be original. The release would just to show him to the people, the Biafra people, so that we will say, hey, Nnamdi Kanu has been released. But Nnamdi Kanu will be under their own personal custody. Are you paying attention? To us, Nnamdi Kanu is released. He is free. But in reality, he is under the custody of Southeast government, because he can no longer do the things that he's supposed to do as a free man. He cannot travel out of Biafra land. He can't do anything. He can't even talk about Biafra. He will be under their own custody, just for them to gain, the control of the place they call Southeast. Are you paying attention? Now, when they came with this idea to their first and second masters to release Nnamdi Kanu to them, they were unable to convince them. Listen, they were unable to convince their first and second masters, that happens to be the federal government of the zoo and the British government, that if you release Nnamdi Kanu, we are going to control him. They couldn't convince their masters in Abuja and London that we are going to control him. So it became very, very difficult, because their masters did not, believe what they say, what they are saying. Therefore, their masters rejected their request. They don't. There are many things going on behind the scene. A lot of people are not aware. Their masters rejected their request to release Nnamdi Kanu without them obtaining assurance from Nnamdi Kanu himself and putting down his signature that it is over as far as Biafra agitation is concerned. So it is impossible for their masters to believe what the Southeast government was telling them. Nnamdi Kanu would have been released a couple of months ago. To be honest, he would have been released, genuinely released, but not purely released, because he would have been under the custody of the Southeast government. Now, when they failed to convince their masters, their two masters, for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, they came back and went back to drawing board. Listen. Now, do you know the interest of Nnamdi Kanu? Nnamdi Kanu has only one interest, which is Biafra, which is very difficult for the zoo and British government to give him. Now, this Southeast government has been telling the zoo federal government and the British government about the reality on ground, what is happening on ground, which they have failed to understand or to acknowledge. Do you know what they do? They keep on pressurizing the Southeast government to do something, because where this whole thing is happening is within their terrain. It's within their terrain. But these people are in Abuja and London, do not understand the reality on ground, what is going on. But those who are, somehow in control, which are not in control, those that I call Southeast government, really understand what is going on in the Southeast, where they claim to govern. And whenever they go to Abuja to tell their Oga will brush them. Their Oga will be angry with them very, very. Their Ogas in Abuja is very, very angry with them, that they must not allow what is happening to continue. They must not allow the so-called non-state actors to have control over the territory where they claim to govern. It is a very, very big clash. When I say very, I don't know, maybe very is an understatement. It is a heavy clash between these three parties. Nnamdi Kanu is on his own. His interest is our own interest, which is Biafra freedom. Now, do you know the current situation? After they have tried everything they could to see a way to kidnap Mazi Simon Ekpa and fail, they tried to go to Abuja. They sent many people to kidnap him in Finland, and they failed. They sent both. They have sent everything. That one, Mazi Simon Ekpa himself, the prime minister, knows better than me, because Naim, where did they look for? So he knows. I only have idea that something like that is going on, but he knows better than me on that side. I don't know more, but I know they have been trying their best. And there's a time I also got an intel that they have said after the war between Mazi Simon Ekpa, the prime minister, and Peter Mba. Let me tell you another one that I've not said. They went back to drawing board before this current drawing board they have gone back to. They came up with an idea of talk less. There's a concluding word that they used, which I grabbed very well through my own intel. Let us talk less and do more. That was their concluding word. Let us talk less and do more. That is the time they began to send all their kidnappers, assassins, suicide bombers to Finland. And I sent that message to the prime minister. I told him, boss, the Kwifanda conclude, let us talk less and do more. That moving forward, you may not be hearing them talking about you again in the public, but they are doing something on the ground. So be very careful. I told him. He told me that he knows. He literally told me that he's aware. I said, very good. Thank God you know. Now, the current situation now, as we are speaking, because after this one now, we'll open the line. The current situation, okay, now, since they have failed to lay their filthy hands on the anointed, the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, His Excellency Mazi Simon Ekpa. That is how God wants it. He who the cap fits, let him wear it. Now, since they failed to grab him, they want to use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to tempt him, to silence him completely. Even now, no be joke, no be jice. Even now, pure. Please let me know if my voice is coming out clear. Let me know now, please. Let me know before we continue. Let me know if my voice is coming out clear, please. Can you hear me, Biafrans? Can you hear me? Let me know so we continue. Nkip Azua now. When they failed with all their evil plans to hold Mazi Simon Ekpa and bring him back to the Zoological Republic, they have seen, it is clear to them that Finland is not Britain and is not Kenya. They have also seen that there is no way, no idea, no tricks that they can be able to lure the prime minister out of Finland, especially to Africa or to any country in Asia. Listen. Again, Mazi Simon Ekpa tweeted sometime in the past, couple of months ago, if not weeks, that his foot will never step in Africa until Biafra is fully restored. That tweet, he did not know what that tweet cost. He didn't know. He just said it from his mind, from his heart. but he didn't actually know what that tweet caused. He said it, but he did not know what he did. That simple tweet. I will never step my foot in Africa until Biafra is restored. It's a simple tweet, which I even recorded. I believe I remember I recorded it. I did the news. I did the broadcast. Now, do you know when they believe they have failed, they have believed they have believed that they have failed. Although they will not stop. Listen, they cannot stop. They know within themselves that they have failed. About Mazi Samanepa, the prime minister, they know they have failed that side, but they cannot agree. They cannot stop. They'll keep on trying till the last day. Now, do you know what they have concluded? And this one now, this plan now, DOS is the one that brought the plan. They have concluded, since Nnamdi Kanu will be appearing in court soon, that Nnamdi Kanu must, listen, they said must publicly denounce the Prime Minister of BLGIE, His Excellency Mazi Samanepa. That once he does that, they will release him. You know what? They want to use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu against the Prime Minister. Now, there are two faces. They want to use one stone to buy two birds. DOS wants to use the opportunity of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu denouncing the Prime Minister to climb again. You know, they are now in the trenches. They are gone completely. So for them to climb, it's not for them to climb to start fighting for Biafra, but for them to climb and start getting the money back, the contribution of Biafra people. That is their own target. The DOS target is to use this public denouncement to climb again, that Biafra people may start contributing to their own pocket. Because the proceed of the sale of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is long finished. It's no longer there. It's finished. Finito. So now owu na safa nke ọjọọ, owu na safa na asasifi ke nke ọjọọ. Remember I told you that there are no less than 100 people. There are no less than 100 people. Is it 1,000 or 100,000 people that I told you, or 1,000 people that collectively sabotaged Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and sold him off? I told you that, right? Now, that same money that was brought was shared between themselves. So the money don't finish Tete. This is the 4th year running. The money don't finish. Now, they want to begin to milk Biafrans, doing nothing. You just contribute to them, and then they will share the money as they have been doing. They pay themselves salaries without doing anything, without using the money for the freedom of Biafra. That is their own target, number one. Then, the target of the Southeast governors was not actually to be truthfully release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because they know that if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released, he will go back to continue the fight for freedom. And he will be more brutal than he used to be because of the anger of what they have done to him already. So they want to pin him down. He will be released to us, to our own side. We will see that he's released. But they are going to use their own strategy to pin him down, that he will never be able to escape the, the within where they call Southeast, and then to continue to fight for Biafra. But to our own eyes, he has been released. And then to their own belief, he must have rendered Mazi Simon Ekpa, useless in the fight for freedom. Are you getting what I'm saying? That is now their current. I'm telling you now, although they have failed. You know where I said they have failed? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself is aware that the only person not just fighting for freedom, but also doing what he would have done, even doing it times 2 or 3, if not times 10. He knows that the only person doing it as it stands today is Mazi Simon Ekpa. And that is the only reason Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is ready to spend any amount of years they want in the DSS custody until Biafra is released. Because whenever he is being told, n'ọkụ na-acha n'ezi, annukwute ọkụ na-acha n'ezi, na ọgbanje na-agba n'ezi, na anị na-agbagharaghara n'ezi, na ndị zoo na-agba kitikiti katakata, na janjaweed anara eku ume na anị anyị. Anytime Mazi Nnamdi Kanu hears this story, Aruana attack Paulina, oh, na aghọtara ife na-aga. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is ready to stay there, even if they want to give any amount of years. Doesn't care, as long as he keeps getting the news. Na janjaweed na agba kitikiti katakata na Igbo. As long as he keeps getting the news, no space for janjaweed in Biafra land. He doesn't care. He's not in a hurry. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not in a hurry. Let me say it today. Now we want him released today. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not in a hurry. Once he keeps getting that message, he's very, very okay. In his mind, not his body. His body might be weak, but in his mind, he's okay.
Oh yes, because he has got his mind made up that Biafra or nothing. He said it severally. He said, if you see me denouncing Biafra, shoot me from the back. There is no need for me to live. That's exactly what he said. In as much as he has hated his body because of Biafra, that love is that love that we are talking about. Mazi so much love freedom, so much love his people, so much he hates oppressors, and that is the major thing that has just happened. Yes, he's there. His body is weak, but his mind is made up. Like he has accepted the fate that he saw himself. All right, and that's it. Thank you very much for your time on this very good channel. God bless you all.